one common enemy. It did not necessarily follow that all of these people that were living together were in agreement with each other even before they came to live together, or neither were they necessarily
But
in
we still
agreement.
stay as a people, you know. If you
Yeah.
notice, we will come together because war in the community, but then we're not talking now. And then when the war done, them gone back, and them come to fight, and you get where I come from, and then after that thing is like, you know, exist no more. You get where I come from?
So,
Me attack and nobody not see me.
so the whole thing is that, you know, we will maintain, you know, we are running an union. And she don't necessarily have to be our biological great grandmother. The fact of the matter is she was the mother. She was
I'm going to read
when
something
she
about
died.
race, and then we take it from there. Race. Richard Simmons, Ghana. Yes, race. Out of innumerable system of existence in spacelessness and timelessness, the galaxy of our planet Earth was born from the Sun. Our solar system and its family of planets form a confederation of a common welfare. At the early beginning of Earth, hundreds of millions of years ago, the planet was more or less barren. Men from space started courting her. They colonized Earth and started rejuvenating her life, stocking the planet with seedlings, charming the soil with trace elements, developing an ecosystem conducive to great excellence. The atmosphere of Earth had many noxious and lethal gases that the men from space, the gardeners of the earth, started nurturing suitable vegetation to absorb the poisonous gases to produce oxygen and nitrogen. Millions of years of earth time passed for various lands, sea, and air creatures to be planted in the creation of various conditions of harmony. The gardeners of the earth were harnessing life on the planet, observing and tending to animate and inanimate interjections and occurrences, creating conditions of congenial developments and benevolent allegiance. These were times when the earth had only one continent, one landmass, and all the rest was water. You ever thought of that? There was a notch in space, and nightmare creatures came upon the earth. The ecosystem was subverted. The one landmass continent had to be split into ramparts against which the sea was divided into seas. This move was to serve for the stability of the earth and the balance of the world. Millions of years reel on earth and the gardeners, the custodians of the planet earth, master of creation, found it expedient to see the human beings closely identifiable to them to respect a functionary stage process. Humans of different types evolve with the earth. Humans of different types evolve the earth. Humans of different types evolve the earth. And humans of various features were disturbed throughout the land to suit the conditions of the earth. Human types were created and exterminated. Communities were formed and destroyed. Society were founded and lost. Civilization flourished and collapsed. Anything that is born has its death, and everything evolves in cycles of its lifespan, genial capacity. Phases of inclines and occurrences of influences are all natural development of life. All things of their lifespan. The planet Earth has its lifespan. Plants and animals have their lifespan. Humans have their lifespans. Societies and states have their lifespan. Yet, as there is no beginning and no end to life itself, there are always remnants of life in continuum. Race, Richard Simmons. Deep. Yeah. Colonel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Deepy?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, man. This is so it is because so it is. Yeah, man. We're continuing our journey, and we have here with us the Colonel Sterling. we want to highlight a bit of our site, Jamaica World Heritage nomination. We are now a World Heritage site, and we need to keep it that way. The cultural and natural heritage of the Blue and Junco Mountains bear a unique and exceptional testimony to a cultural heritage root. This is embodied in the archaeological sites. These sites have been identified from the oral tradition of the Maroons in the mountain ranges as a protective and defensive network of secrets, trails and settlements that was used in the war of the first quarter of the 18th century for liberation against colonial oppression. The Blue and Junco Mountains, now heritage site. Wagwan. Tell a little bit about Wagwan up in there. Well, first, before we continue, we have to big up Susan Atukan,
Right,
Deborah, and
Janice, and all the team that was
went to Germany,
went to
and
Germany.
yourself.
Yeah. So it was, Derek was there as well. Derek Gray from Heritage Trust.
Okay.
Everton, and then from UNESCO Jamaica Local Office. Ambassador. She's a Jamaican ambassador to Brussels, right? But she has the responsibility for UNESCO.
Oh yeah.
The permanent secretary, the Minister of Youth and Culture, the minister herself.
Well, Lisa Anna was there, yes.
So
what was it like? Tell me a little bit about what happened. What happened in Germany for us to get nominated? It was when you went there. We were
inscribed.
Oh, so they just go there for the party.
Well, okay, fine. We knew from April that you were handed the list of inscribed. So it's an inscription referral or deferral, right?
Oh. So okay.
So we gotta bear in mind that this is a process that we did not start it yesterday.
Yes.
We had already submitted that to UNESCO, and we were given a referral, right?
Yes.
And they outlined to us what is it that we need to do.
Requirements.
The other requirement that we need in order to get inscribed. So we could not change the document overall, but deal with the issues that they want us to deal with, right? So we dealt with those issues, and because one of the things that had impeded the first candidature file, right, is we nominated this property on two fronts, right? Two mean the natural and the cultural. So UNESCO is saying, look, this is what you do, this is fine. When you speak a lot about the natural part of it, but the cultural side you did not say much about it. So you gotta go back, fix that. We came, we sat down again, the committee, and we put it together.
Yeah.
And then last year, October, November, right? The end of October into the first week. Then the evaluators came.
I remember that. Yeah.
There's one from one of the evaluators was from Costa Rica, one from Chile, and the other one from Brazil. Well, she's from South Africa, and then the other one from. He's really a German that lives in Brazil. Okay. So we took them around the Blue Mountain.
I remember.
We went to Nannytown.
Yes.
Aliwell, Sincona, and all that side, and the Kunukuna Pass, the here in the Buff Bay in Charlestown,
up in the Buff Bay Valley there,
Charlestown and in Scottsdale, right? And so they went back and because they are the evaluators.
Okay.
So their recommendation to the judging committee was like, okay, fine, this property is fine, and they still asked for a little bit more clarification on some of the things. So we did that. We clarified them with things and sent them back to them on time. But we knew then that the judging would take place this year, right? And it would have been in Bonn, in Germany. So we had to. One of the good things too, Jamaica is a member, or it sits on the committee.
Okay.
Yeah, in the committee of 20 countries, right? but Jamaica is
It's on the committee.
And so therefore our minister, Lisa Hanna, is basically, since she's the minister of culture, she's basically the person.
Oh, liaison with, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, our ministry and stuff like that, there's going to be somebody.
So what I want to know though, I want you to highlight things that the community needs to know about heritage sites, what we do and we don't, and you get where I'm coming from?
Okay. So fine, one. We are now planning, as a matter of fact, posters are out now, right? To look at how we treat with this site. Because one of the worst things can ever happen to you is that you get inscribed on any of these.
Yeah,
so you take it back after this.
Yeah, so
you got to protect it site. You got to
things what we shouldn't do as a community. You being here today,
okay.
I want you to tell our community things we shouldn't do in our area. Yes.
Okay, fine. So inside, this is a national park. It's a big area. You're talking about the core of the site plus the buffer zone amounts to over 50.
Yeah, we're gonna because I've been showing this thing on the program a bit, so we're going to.
It's over 50,000 hectares of land. That's a big area. That's one of the biggest, natural parks in heritage parks in Jamaica. Okay, so there are things that people might think that okay, it's okay.
Riverbank fishing.
There's nobody's not saying you can't fish,
No fishing, we mean farming.
It is accepted that people in the buffer zone people will farm, because the buffer zone is not necessarily.
But we're talking about the river bank with the pesticide.
Well, the pesticide is something, whether we have a World Heritage Site, yes or no, we have to be careful of that, because it is our livelihood that is depending on how we treat with the environment.
So whether or not, well, though that is a no, as a site, but as a people, we should even use it. Yes.
I am not saying you cannot use pesticide, but what kind of pesticide are you going to use? Because, okay, fine, you just read something here and you think about, like, how do you get rid of the rats?
Yes.
And there's a natural way
to get rid
of the rats.
Yeah.
So you would have to get rid of rats. But what kind of chemical are you going to use to get rid of the rat? Because a simple thing like Aki, the young one, right? If you grate that pound up, whatever you do, mix it up with turned cornmeal and some gravy and things.
Okay,
No. You don't need no gravy.
Okay, the gravy. Okay.
Yeah, just
that get rid of the rat.
That will get rid. It will kill them.
Okay.
And because young Aki is poisonous.
Yes.
And it works. And I was saying to people in recent time that we have a lot of what we call wild cane, right? Dung cane, right? It's stuff, the thing that scratch. Why you are seeing them in totally different areas, like in the bush and things like that, is that people used to pound those things up, mix it up with, and put it in some water and things like that, and with the food and leave it, and the rat will go there, eat it and scratch them, and they will scratch their throat out and kill themselves. So that is why, you see it all over the place.
Because it is part of our,
So you can do that. But one of the things that you don't want is like, the bad habit of river poisoning.
Yes.
Where people are adding poison to the river to catch, fish and stuff like that.
That's no.
Yeah,
that's
how you treat with fires is another thing. Because I was like driving through all the way to the junction to go to Kingston, and it was appalling to see what they do in that river valley in terms of, the wildfires. And these fires did not start by accident. Somebody would have to deliberately start these fires. So these things you don't want. You don't want people going into the national park now to go there to say, well, I am going there now to do wholesale hunting and things. We know that, for example, wildlife is in the park, right? There's nothing that says you can't go there and hunt the wildlife. The conies are protected, so you should not be hunting the conies, right? You don't want people going in there and capturing the giant swallowtail butterflies and stuff like that. Those are no.
Okay.
Don't go in there and make fires. So you treat the thing with the kind of respect that comes with it. One of the sticky points, right, is a matter of mining.
Yes.
You don't want mining in that area. UNESCO is
against it.
Is against it.
Yes.
So we gotta get from the
But
government.
them mine out the whole of Oak Bay.
Where?
Up in the Oak Bay every day when if me they up there and stand up right out there, so it's about a 6 truck come out
No, I'm
up
not
in the Swift River.
I'm not talking like, river mining, the shingle.
That's
No,
okay.
That's not how I'm.
That's not what you're talking.
No, because sometimes where they're doing that mining is like in the buffer zone, right?
Oh.
I'm talking about you're mining for things like gold, for copper and sulfate and magnesium and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because that is much more dangerous. Because the thing about the river mining, once you do it the proper way, you're always going to be replenishing the area because the stuff is going to be coming down all the time.
Okay.
But gold now you got to use some dangerous chemical to get to the thing and to clean it up. If you think about what happened in Coral in Clarendon,
Yeah.
who is responsible for cleaning up that mess that the company have left there?
Yeah, so true.
Dangerous chemicals are there. So these are things that you got
to highlight, yeah.
Yeah, so we must do all the best that we can to protect what we have.
So true. We're gonna put in a little part of the World Heritage documentary, and then we can highlight about that.
Yeah.
All right. So remember this, peeps. Just when the butterfly thought the world was over, she began to fly. Just when the butterfly thought the world was over, she began to fly. Meditation is the ultimate mobile device. You can use it anywhere, anytime, unobstructively. Stepping out loud. We soon come back. We're here with the Colonel Sterling from Moortown. Yeah, man, enough information. Every time you come, just fully up so with everything. Yeah.
Sunrise in the Blue and John Crow Mountains. Another beautiful day in one of the most majestic and mysterious places on the exotic island of Jamaica. The Blue and John Crow Mountains dominate eastern Jamaica, and the foothills of the Blue Mountains create a spectacular backdrop for the city of Kingston. Most of the Blue and John Crow Mountains have been under some form of protection since 1927, when the colonial government recognized the need to protect the 10 watersheds these mountains provide. It was declared a forest reserve in 1950. In 1993, it gained national park status and became protected as a national heritage in 2014. These mountains protect.
Yeah, part of it. So this is what we need to protect.
Okay, yeah, that's what we really need to protect it. You see, all right, okay. If the mountains are your friend, then you gotta be friend with the
them
mountain.
yeah.
If the mountain provide for you, then you need to
Protect it.
protect it.
Yeah.
This is your source of livelihood. Our foreparents knew that more than anybody else. That is where they took refuge, in those mountains. They got food from it, they got clothing from it, and they were so respectful of it that the thing is that if you cut down one tree, then you plant 2 more trees to replace the one that you cut. That means you will continuous. You'll have continuous coverage, right? The mountain, like you were saying earlier, the one here that everybody breathes, and if the mountain is not there, you're in trouble.
Yes.
No trees to convert the nitrogen and the oxygen and whatever that you need, right? So we are mindful of that, and as a people, I know we have problems in Jamaica, right? I know solid waste is a
Big problem.
Is a big problem. We are not treating right with solid waste.
At all.
And we are not treating right with solid waste, not because the authority doesn't do enough, but because we as individuals are lapsing how we take it, right? Everything we can just cast it outside and just, it don't make sense, right? So therefore, once we have gone out,
but I'm just a clean and pour and tone with even that, yes.
One thing I know, right, and we are pretty much sure that it will happen. The fact that we have gained that status, it will push the government to do more, and other non-government organizations, other private, the what you call the business sector and stuff like that, who stand to benefit from it, right?
Yeah,
because
we'll have to get more incorporated.
Yeah. So we, in the communities, we are always mindful of ecotourism.
Yes.
And that is the thing that we want to develop more. Ecotourism, we have more trails. We can do things like butterfly watching,
but a lot of
bird
people
watching.
been coming for butterfly. Yeah.
And yesterday I tried to. I was doing some shots, right? Myself and another young fellow, right? We were doing some shoots because I just want to get some pictures of the mountain and the river and stuff like that, which we got. This is what is on the the thumb drive. This is what you put on the thumb drive. And they but I was like on the phone and there was this giant swallowtail butterfly that comes up, and I was unable to shoot because it didn't stay long.
No, it do it to me to just pass left you.
Yeah, and it just gone because. Sometimes in the past when I was going in the hills, there were, I used to see a lot more of them, but I never had a phone camera.
We just never used to capture no shots. Yeah.
But now I'm sure I will get some shots of them because I know where they are and they will come and I will do some shoots.
Okay.
So these are important things to us, right?
Yes.
How do we as a people treat with this thing that we have?
World Heritage Site is just being more aware of our environs.
So we got inscribed, we get nominated, we were declared and one of the things that
So what happened? Tell me a little bit about going up there. What going on the thing? When you're up there, what going on? In a party? Or you know that from the just go when you just gonna know say it go on?
Well, okay, fine. The Jamaican delegation was there from I think the 28th of the month, right? We got there on the 20th of June. We got there and some of us got there, and let's see, Derek, Susan, myself, and we got there on the 2nd.
So what happened when you get inscribed? After when you get there?
Well, when you get inscribed, everybody would come over to you. All the other countries will come and congratulate you. And our situation was great. When we get inscribed, everything good. And I can remember.
So have a party?
The party was like on the side after thing, right?
Okay.
And but I remember one of the I think it was a delegation from Vietnam, because they got inscribed in a series of caves. But he said, they are only allowing I think it's 500 visitors per year to the cave, not more than that. In order to protect the caves, right?
Protecting their thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he said, one of them said, no, Jamaica, you got the triple. Because before this inscription, the music of the Motown Maroon has been declared an oral and intangible part as a masterpiece.
Yes, I know that, and the drums, them upper charts too.
Right.
Yes.
So now we got that before, and now we get, a mixed side, both cultural and heritage. So they said, no, Jamaica, you have the triple.
Great. So what happened when you have a party? People come over.
Yeah, you have a celebration. People come, you invite, other delegation, and then we have like gifts and stuff like that we are already prepared.
Okay.
That we take and Jamaican party with some red stripe here and some Jamaican patties and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you give little coffees and little miniature
gifts,
rum
jams and
stuff like that. You
gifts from Jamaica.
Gifts from Jamaica for all the persons who would have attended that party.
Okay. So how long was the trip?
Well, we left Jamaica.
The second, and when you came back?
No. We left Jamaica the 1st.
Okay.
Of July.
Yeah.
So we head to Atlanta, Amsterdam, then we go to Cologne, and Cologne and Bonn is like, that's
So
where
how
the
long you
airport is.
stayed there? How long it was?
Well, we stayed there from the second when we got there until the 9th.
Oh, it's a 7 day, like a one.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, great.
And then we left the 9th.
And come home, the
So
journey.
it was Cologne. We took the same reverse thing.
Yeah,
Cologne, Amsterdam, Atlanta. But we overnight in Atlanta because the time when we got into Atlanta, the flight that would be leaving from Atlanta to Jamaica would have already been gone. So we had to overnight, and the next evening we come back to Jamaica on the 10th.
Okay.
So that was it. But the whole trip was wonderful. It was good. We work a lot, and we.
So to say, they're giving you this medium now if we talk to our viewers up in the Buff Bay Valley, in our environs and all of that, as a World Heritage Site, as a colonel, what you saying to our people to keep our side, to keep us on the
Well, okay, fine. The first thing one got to recognize, and I know people, right? If we have this inscription and you don't see anywhere how you're gonna benefit from it economically, then you will say, Chuck, that really makes no sense to me,
So
But
choose something.
yeah,
So you're telling
yeah.
them to choose something within the site.
It is up to everybody now in every community see how you're gonna use this inscription to capitalize on the things that you were doing before that are good in terms of tourism, and how you get visitors coming into your community.
And you have to explain to them what is ecotourism, what we're promoting. We're promoting ecotourism. Ecotourism is not the high scale hotel. It's the same living, the breadfruit where you roast on the wood fire, the river bank where you go down a river and go do the same thing. And the same kind of tourism people coming because they're coming from the developed world, coming to our world to see what we has to offer. So we just want to just chop it up. Like the lady right out of police station, there's an old police station where I sell our coconut drops and our almond drops, and she said she make wine. Miss Dar, big up Miss Dar, them lady there, them kind of thing, the ecotourism.
That kind of thing, you look a bread and breakfast thing.
Yes.
And you know now that, okay, fine, so you have a destination, it's going to be out there in the world, people will come.
People
without
come
you
in,
inviting
them. Yeah, so just for we say everybody have a little room and a bathroom to facilitate the venture.
That kind of thing.
Yes.
And then you can, people can be taken on tours.
And when we say room and bathroom, we're not talking no America looking room.
A nice, comfortable
yeah,
place.
nice, comfortable room. But the
Clean
room will
and-
look like America,
Yeah.
because them not want to come back here for come. They don't want to come to Jamaica for go stay in America.
Yeah, no, you
They want Jamaica culture. So that's
Good.
basically what it is about. Yeah.
So we, that is something that we need to look at in how we treat with it. So
Okay.
every individual can.
We're going to
see-
break a bit and then
Okay.
we'll come back.
Okay.
Because time is going on. We'll break a bit. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about
None-a-day celebration.
non-date celebration. And
I'll talk about
I know that. Because, we soon come back. Stteppin Out Loud. Yeah. The body achieves what the mind believes. The body achieves what the mind believes. When you do something noble and beautiful and nobody notice, do not be sad. For the sun every morning is a beautiful, spectacular, and yet most audience is still asleep. Yeah. We'll soon come back. Stteppin Out Loud with the Colonel. Believe what your heart tells you, not what others say. Believe what your heart tells you, not what. That's your gut feeling, that's your inner self. Believe what it says, no matter what nobody else tells you. Because you alone going through your journey. Yes. The stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone.
No. Well, I don't know except what well, and I said there will be no more tomorrow, girl, if I'm not with you, oh girl. Well, no. Even though we've been past the rocky road, I wanna take the time just to let you know it's just that feeling of letting go. Since the fucker went away, and I just wanted to say, and there will be no more tomorrow, girl, if I'm